Hey, does this ever happen to you? Oh my god, I want to make Mario Kart Tracks, but that takes skill and effort and time, and I don't have any of that. Well, you're in luck because today I'm going to teach you how you can make your very own Mario Kart Tracks, without needing actual skills with 3D modeling and stuff. So what you're going to want to do is either click on the link in the description to the website, or you're going to want to type Google search for Mario Kart PC. Then you just click on the first result, and as you can see, I had this website bookmarked because I really like using it. So what you're going to want to do is click on play game. Now I have it muted because, it's kind of loud, but you can actually listen to it as audio. Just know that I'm not going to be using audio for this video because it's really loud. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click on track builder. Now we're going to go over both quick mode and complete mode in this video, but first let's just go over quick mode. This is the simpler but more limited mode. So first we're going to just delete this entire thing, so we have a good plane to start. Now if you click on this drop down menu, you can change the theme of the track. You know what, let's go cheeseland. So up here you'll see deco or obstacles exclusive to the course. In this case it's piranha plants. Every course has signature deco. Well, I mean, this game calls it deco, even though it's really just an obstacle. Yeah. So by clicking on a tile in the 6x6 grid, you can change the track piece to whatever you want out of this little drop down menu. Now keep in mind, in order for it to work, it actually has to be a full circuit, so you can't just make it so it's impossible, because otherwise the CPUs will get confused and you can't really count laps. Now the checkpoint system and CPUs CPU's routing has already been done for you. So you can add jump ramps, you can add boost panels, item boxes, and then in this case piranha plane. I'm just gonna add it. Kinda wish the mice were here, to be honest, but beggars can't be choosers. So we can just add a boost panel right here. I'm not the best at quick mode, that's mainly because I don't really use it that often. The real meat and potatoes of this is complete mode, so we can just check this, and, oh my god. Okay, and if you click on this little drop down, you can change the number of laps. Maybe let's go 6 laps. And, you can change the CPU difficulty CPUs, and if you really wanted to, you can mod in your own custom characters. I personally do not make my own custom characters, I find other people's custom characters, but if you guys would want me to, I could try to make a tutorial on how to get other people's custom characters. So as you can see, the track works fine. The CPUs know what they're doing, and yeah, a lap counts. So that is quick. What if, oh, I just glitched out of bounds, that's fun. But what if you wanted to actually put more depth into your tracks? Enter complete mode. So for this to work, though, you have to have a PNG or an image of your track. In this case, we're going to use my track doodle circuit I made. Do I even have that saved? Oh, I don't. Wow. This track is honestly a lot of fun. So once you have your file, we're going to create the track. Oh, this is an important thing to mention. If your file size is over 1 megabyte, so I recommend Compress2Go, hashtag not sponsored, as they do a really good job of compressing file size. So I really like using this because, it helps a lot if I save as PNGs. Now, what I've noticed is that JPEGs tend to take up less space, so that's helpful. So what you're going to want to, so this is just an important tip. When you're making custom tracks, unless you're making retro tracks, you're going to want to end up drawing your own maps. So here you can place a starting line or, choose the direction of it. And if you right click on it, you can rotate it to whatever free dimension that you want. We're just going to leave it like that. CPU's routing lets you place nodes on the track to indicate the routes the CPUs will take. And if you right click on a node, it will actually allow it to take a shortcut route, which means it'll only take that route if it has a mushroom. Which is honestly a really cool feature. And you can have multiple routes they can take. So yeah, it's pretty cool. We're just gonna finish making. I'll see you guys once I'm done mapping out the CPU's route. Alright, so we finished mapping out the main route, but as I said, you can right click a node to make a shortcut route, which it will only use if it has a mushroom, which I think is pretty cool. So then once you get, and also you can have up to 7 different routes. So in this case, so you can either create a brand new route from scratch, or you can just create off a pre-existing route and just change a couple of things. In this case, maybe I want it to go the other way around this whole, split path section. So from here, so with the walls, you can add collision to your course like this. And basically, with the walls, as well as any area that has collision with stuff, you can either choose from making it a simple rectangle like this. Oh yeah, we're just gonna change this. So you can make it a simple rectangle like this, or you can make it like a free custom shape where you use the node system the CPU's routing. Except obviously you can't really make shortcut routes with this because it's the CPU. It's just... Now this works the same for making off-road, holes, jumps, and a bunch of other stuff that we'll get into later. Now I'm only going to do part of the track because time, but yeah, I would highly recommend doing this, because like, it's honestly not, it's kind of fun honestly. Or at least I find it fun anyways, I don't know, maybe. So yeah, like, and if you're like, oh, but what if I wanted to fill the outside? So it's like, maybe you want it to just like, now obviously I'm cutting corners here, like, this isn't actually, like, what I would do. I would recommend definitely taking your time mapping out these nodes. Now, what if you're like, oh, what if I wanted to, like, fill out the outside? Well, that's honestly very simple. Like, I don't want to say surprisingly simple, but, like, it's surprisingly simple. So, you know, you finish mapping this out, then if you want let's say if you really want it to, you know, just be like an outer wall, so then you just bring it out to the edge, and, oh crap, that's not what I wanted to do. So you just bring it to the outer edge, oh my god, and then bam. As you'll see, bam, all filled in. So now you got, you know, your basic track section laid out. Now, if you wanted to, you could add off-road. You can choose between grass, water, ice, and choco. Ice, all of them slow you down. Ice makes it slippery, and choco really, really slows you down. I personally never use the main off-road I use is the grass off-road, although sometimes I'll use the ice off-road if I'm making like a snowy track, which I don't usually do, but like I sometimes do it, so like if you were to drive over this section, you know, it'd slow you down like off-road in a mainland Mario Kart game. It should be pretty obvious. Now I'm only gonna do this little section here to save time. So the holes, you know, act as like out of bounds areas. Like say like if I fall in this little hole right here, then you can place where they spawn when they get picked up by Lakitu. Just place it like that. Now you can place this wherever you want, although I do not recommend placing it like after a mandatory checkpoint. That is like after the hole, because like then it gets weird. So for checkpoints, they default as like a 90-degree thing. However, you can right click them and rotate them and have them go in whatever direction they want. Like let's say that I wanted it to go like this and I wanted to rotate it so that it's like this. I could do that. Now, if you can click make optional to make it so that the checkpoint is not mandatory, which is actually kind of helpful for like, because checkpoints are how the game determines what place you're in. So like, for example, like if I want a checkpoint to be non-mandatory, but I find the non-mandatory checkpoints to mainly be helpful for making shortcut routes. So like, if I get to like here, then it's like I can make this one optional, so you're not required to hit it to make the lap count, but like it just helps you place it. So yeah, as you can see, the checkpoint tool is very helpful and actually essential for this. And the last tool we'll be looking at before we get into the more optional. Oh yeah, you can also change laps or even make section-based tracks. I did not mean I wanted to. And then the items is pretty self-explanatory. You click on where you want the item boxes to be placed, like here, 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 and yeah, that's basically all there is to it. Again, I'm definitely rushing here for the sake of the video, but like, usually I take more time on these. Now, this part is where things start to get fun. You can add jump ramps, and if you right-click them, you can adjust the jump. You can manually override the jump height, which is honestly a good thing, because like, if you... No, I'm kidding. So like, you can like... Now, unless you're adding boosts to your jumps, I highly recommend making like the jump height always make sure that it can reach the other platform if you're jumping over a pit. Boost panels, you know, these ones are a little different, like, you can, like, change the size of them. In this case, now go-to size for me whenever, like, making boost panels is 20 by 20, mainly because, you know, it's just easier to just do this. Now, good track size I find works well, like, when making, like, images for custom tracks, is 1,500 by 1,500 pixels, and make the track size generally between 60 and 80 pixels wide. The decor section lets you add obstacles, and if you click on this, you can add your own decor. Like, for example, I have a pencil that I'll use, which replaces a poke, which acts like a pokey, which I kind of wish I just made act like a tree, but whatever. And, like, so, basically how the decors work is that they're like the obstacles. So you can place down thwomps. I can place down bullet bill. Now, some decors are a little finicky and like a little more unique, like the fire bars. You can change their direction. Bullet bills, you can change their firing direction. TikTok claw cans are really weird. So basically, like you place them down, you can change their rotating speed and the direction they rotate, as well as how long they are. And fun fact, they're the only decor that you can't make a custom texture for. The pinballs from Waluigi Pinball and the snowballs from DK Pass. Basically, you just choose the direction they start in and they'll bounce around. Trees and pipes act like walls as they normally do, and the pendulum acts very similar in terms of interface with Fireball. Cannons allow you to make, like, you know how like Maple Treeway and DK Summit start with cannon boosters? Kind of allows you to do that, like travel long distances of track very quick, which they can be useful. Like, I speak from experience. Teleporters allow you to just make an area of the track where if you go into that, it acts like a hole except you keep your momentum and speed. The mobile floor act like conveyor belts, and while the rectangle custom shape will push you one direction, if you use the circle, if you use the circle variant, it'll act as a rotating conveyor belt. Again, I am definitely rushing here, but like this is just an example. So elevators, I actually do not know how to use, but you're not going to be using them much anyways. And now for the options tab. You can change the background image. You can add custom ones, although they're kind of annoying, so I'm not going to go into that. I know I'm going to make it. It's just ridiculous. Music, you can choose either one of the songs used in game, or if you really want to, you can choose a song off YouTube. In this case, we are going to choose Mario Kart 8's version of Cheese Loop. So, you paste it in here, and if you look on more options, you can adjust the speed, you can adjust the loop, and you can even choose Final Lap music. Let's say we wanted the Final Lap music to just, be what Cheese Loop's Final Lap music is from Mario Kart 8. You just copy and paste that link, and bam. Now, the default Final Lap music is basically just the normal music, except sped up a little bit, which is fine, but I really wish there was a pitch option. That's just me, though. Out color, you can change, like we got a bounce color, let's just make it black. Image, just if you wanted to like edit the image at all, and that's basically all there is to it. So that's it. Let's play a little bit on our track. Now overall, I think this is really cool, and I highly recommend using this editor as it's really simple to learn and really fun. If you have any questions for stuff that I can actually answer, like how other decors work, let me know in the comments. And while you're at it, be sure to like and sub to the channel, yeah, I don't post often, but look at it this way. What if shit's spammed in your feed? Or at least not spammed anyways, it's probably still shit. So yeah, this has been Infested in Gengar, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.